Welcome back my dear third prep students. We are going to start نكمل حلقتنا تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Today we are going to complete what we started before about the potential difference and electric potential difference, and we reached a very important point which is the device that used to measure the electric potential difference. وكنا عرفنا الديفينيشن بتاعه. طب let's see together what is the device. This device is called Voltmeter Apparatus, like you see here in front of you, and it is used to what? To measure potential difference between two ends of conductor, and also used to measure what is called electromotive force. And its symbol is like you see here, it's a circle with the letter V, plus and minus, and it is connected in parallel connection inside the electric circuit. Type. Let's focus here on a part which is, I said that I'm going to explain it later, which is what's meant by electric motive force. Before we go to mention this definition, let's see together this. If I have a battery and I want to measure electric يعني الباتري دي ايه الcharges اللي جواها, so I'm going to connect it with this device which is voltmeter, and in this case but if I put it in an open circuit. معنى open circuit, and I said before يعني open circuit يعني switch is opened, ما فيش flow of electricity inside it. So في الحالة دي circuit open like you see here in front of you. Look with me in this figure. Here I have two circuits. The first one is closed. How can I know? It's the switch is closed. Okay? And here there is a voltmeter connected. So in this case, the voltmeter connected the potential difference between the two ends in the circuit. يعني بيقيس لي potential difference in all the circuit. At the same time, if I connected, look to the second figure, the same circuit, but I open the switch. There is no flow of electricity. فتحت الcircuit. So here the voltmeter measured what? Measured حاجة اسمها electric motor force. يعني الباور بتاعت الباتري بس. يبقى here لازم تفوكس. If you got it in a closed circuit, so in this case the voltmeter measured a potential difference. If you put it in closed open circuit, in this case there is no charges flowing, so it measures the electric motive force of only the battery. طب what's meant by electric motive force هنا احنا قلناها. طب تعالوا نشوف كده نحطها زي في definition. It's what? It means that the potential difference between the two poles of the battery, but where in an open circuit. يعني definition بتاع electric motive force, it's the potential difference. هي the same potential difference between what? Between two poles of the battery, but in one condition. If the circuit is open, ما فيش flow, فبالتالي أنا بقيس بس potential difference بتاعت الباتري. Okay? طب here I have a practice on it. لما يقول لي what's meant by electric motive force of electric cell is 1.1 volt. يبقى إيه؟ هعمل الديفينيشن واحط النمبر. يبقى it means that the potential difference between the two poles of the battery in an open circuit. لازم نكتب. لو ما كتبناش open circuit يبقى كل definition wrong. In an open circuit is 1.1 volt. Okay? Here I have to reach the third topic or the third property of the electricity that we are going to discuss it in details, which is called electric resistance. Before we start to know what's meant by electric resistance, what's meant يعني ايه كلمة resistance? Here look to this figure and you can see the car face pumps. Sometimes when we driving the car بنلاقي مطبات. pumps دي مطبات. طب ايه فايدتها؟ they put it why؟ مش عشان يضايقونا، لا because it resists the speed. يعني لما الواحد يمشي بسرعة وفي intersections للطرق, so I have to slow my speed. So this is called opposition. Opposition يعني something which is بيعطلني. Opposition. يبقى here in the figure in front of you, the car which meets the pump looks like بالظبط electricity and resistance. Resistance is kind of opposition اللي بتعاكس flow of electricity. يبقى الكارنت ماشي كده في حاله, في حاجة اسمها resistance that opposes it أو بيعطلوا عن ال flow of it. So can we know that the electric current faces something which is called resistance. طيب let's كده نشوف يبقى what's meant by electric resistance. As I said, it is the opposition، يعني الحاجة اللي بتعطلني. Opposition of what? Of the electric current that passing، بتعطله during its passing، مش وهو واقف طبعا، هو التيار ماشي الفلو. This opposition or this resistance bit opposite it. So what's meant by electric resistance? It is the opposition that the electric current faces during its flow. طيب how can we measure the electric resistance? I have here a very important thing that you have to know it. الديفايسز دي مهمة جدا، ما بعملش confusion between them. How can I measure? Here I focus on the word measure عشان عندي هنا two devices related للresistance. Device to measure the resistance called ohm meter، من اسم scientist who discovered it or who invented اسمه ohm meter as you see here in this figure. يبقى الديفايس ده used to measure the resistance called ohm meter like you see here in front of you. طيب اليونت ايه؟ دايما بنقول الديفايس and the unit. طب what is the unit of the resistance? This opposition اليونت بتاعتها اسمها ايه؟ ohm. يبقى الديفايس اسمه ohm meter and the unit is called ohm. طيب ايه هو الاوم؟ تعالوا كده نعرف. as I said before, if I want to define unit هحطها في rule and then I'm going to define it. الاوم actually ده طبعا انكل اوم هو اللي اخترع دوت، وهنتكلم عليه شويه. ان هو اللي اخترع اللو ده. اللو بيقول ايه؟ اومز لو بيقول ال 1 اوم equal 1 فولت over 1 امبير. يونت الاوم بتيكوال 1 فولت يعني 1 potential difference divided 1 ampere، والامبير ده the measurement of a electric current intensity. طيب can now I define the ohm? Yes of course I can from this rule اللي قدامي. هبتدي اقول اسال نفسي the ohm ده بيميجر ايه؟ the resistance. يبقى I start my definition it is the resistance and then between ايه؟ لازم في two points، واحده عندها high واحده عندها low، يبقى it is the resistance between two points of conductors. when امتى؟ when potential difference. طب انا جبت potential difference منين؟ من الرول اللي قدامي هنا بيقول لي volt divided by ampere. يبقى when potential difference قد ايه؟ قلت I will use 1 only unit 1 volt بتعمل ايه؟ applied to make electric current intensity كميته قد ايه؟ 1 امبير. It appears to you انها difficult بس it's not difficult، عايزه practice and you put in front of you low وتطلع منه. اوكي؟ يبقى here I can define the ohm easily. It's the resistance between two points of conductors. امتى؟ when a potential difference 1 volt بيعمل ايه؟ allow the 1 ampere to flow through it. This is the definition of ohm. ورemember ايه اليونت of it؟ ohm. a device called ohm meter. طيب هل عندي انواع types of resistance؟ yes I have. الopposition دي في منها انواع. في two types of resistance. one is called constant resistance or fixed. fixed يعني it's found في كل الأجهزة، كل الاباريتس أو الابلينسز inside our homes لازم inside it في حاجة اسمها resistance. fixed yes it's fixed، ده النوع الأولاني. يبقى اسمه إيه؟ constant or fixed resistance. how can I draw it في السيركت؟ لما باجي برسم circuit as I saw you before وريتكم how can we draw the diagram. بتترسم in the shape لها السيمبل ده zigzag line بس. This is called constant resistance. If I see it in any circuit بحط لها label it's constant resistance. عندي نوع تاني اسمه variable resistance. Here with me أنا جايباه معانا عشان هنشوفه. إيه هو variable resistance ده؟ له اسم تاني اسمه sliding rheostat. اسمه إيه؟ sliding. وفrom the word sliding هنقول ليه هو اسمه sliding. يبقى هو له اسم مهم جدا variable. variable means changeable يعني بيchange resistance. واسمه ايه؟ sliding rheostat. الsliding rheostat ده لما بيجي برسمه في الالكتريك سيركت it takes this shape. the same like the constant بس هزود له حاجة. This arrow means that I can control the length. Variable أنا بقدر أغيره مش fixed like the other one. Focus on the two diagrams because it's very important في الليبل. يقول لك دي إيه يبقى fixed resistance and this one is variable resistance or rheostat. Let's see together the rheostat ونشوف الستراكشر بتاعه مع بعض. Let's see. It's very simple apparatus. As we see here in front of you, it's عبارة عن a coil of metal. طبعا it should be conductor, good conductor of electricity عشان يمشي فيه electricity. الكويل ده ملفوف على a part which is insulator. والinsulator here, this part made of porcelain. Porcelain ده like ceramic. So it's a bad conductor or insulator. And here I have part which is like copper. You can follow me and you can see it also on the drawing like here with all the labels. Here this is a copper slide or copper part. فوقيه هنا عندي a part which is I can move it, I can slide it here as you see here. This is copper sheet. طبعا it should be copper عشان تبقى good conductor of electricity. يبقى here. طب let's see here الكارنت هيمشي منين؟ let's see together. الكارنت بيمشي من point معينة. okay let's see here. and في outlet and in. and I can control the resistance here by moving and sliding this copper sheet on this coil. طب الموفمنت and sliding دي بتحكم فيها بإيه؟ باللينث of the wire. اللينث here لما أتحرك كده it's short length. If I move like that I will have a long length. So here بالشكل ده الستراكشر بتاعه as you see here الليبل in front of you. Slider, this is the slider and this is the copper sheet and this is the coil made of metal ملفوف على porcelain sheet. And here you have to know that the slider is movable to control the length of the wire here, and I will discuss to you why I can control the length. Okay, let's complete. As you see here, this is the label of the rheostat. له اسمين اسمه variable resistance or its other name which is rheostat. Okay, type. Here I have a definition for this kind. Yes, it's a kind of resistance. لازم يبقى لها definition. هي اسمها ايه؟ variable يعني changeable. طب how can I define it? It is the resistance من اسمها that can be changed. type in order to what؟ أنا أتحكم فيها controllable in order to adjust. حاجتين مهمين جدا يعني وجود الريزيستنس دي inside السيركل لما أجي أوصلها بأني apparatus I can control two main properties. خدناهم ايه هما؟ البوتنشال ديفرنس and the electric current intensity. يعني انا وانا بستعملها اقدر اكنترول not measure. I can control focus here. يبقى الريوستات لما اقول لك الريوستات ده الفانكشن بتاعته او الامبورتنس ايه؟ never ever تقول لي measure. It control. As you see انا I adjust the length so I can control two main properties. هما ايه؟ البوتنشال ديفرنس and the electric current intensity. يبقى here can you define what's meant by rheostat? It's the resistance that can you change with it the value of current intensity and also the potential difference between any part in the circuit. طب احطه في السيركت I can easily control the two main properties اللي انا قلت عليهم. طيب زي as I said before يبقى its importance متلخصة في 2 points. It used to control. Ever never write measure. احنا عندنا أجهزة تانية to measure them. هنا to control only. Control electric current intensity as you see here and also the potential difference. طب الidea بتاعته الwork بتاعه as you see here with me that I'm sliding it over the slider بحركه. So I control what? I can control the length. As we see here, I can control the length of the wire. طب لما بعمل controlling للlength هل في relation between the length of the wire and something which I'm going to adjust it? Of course. If I increase the length هنا أنا بعمل إيه؟ increase the resistance بزودها. So أنا قلت resistance is opposition. مين بتعاكس مين؟ بتعاكس الالكتريك كارنت انتنسيتي. So if I'm increasing the length, I'm increasing the resistance, I'm decreasing the electric current intensity. طب look with me now. هعمل ايه؟ I'm decreasing the length. So I'm decreasing the resistance. Actually here I'm increasing the electric current intensity لأن أنا قلت resistance هي نوع من الأوبوزيشن، حاجة بتعترض الإلكتريك كارنت انتنسيتي. يبقى لما يجي يسألك الأيديا of the working to control the length of the wire by the slider, so at the same time I can control and I just adjust the electric current intensity, and also I can adjust the electric potential difference. طيب here I have here. طب لو أنا حبيت أعمل relation between the length as I said and between the length of the wire and between the resistance, they are what? Of course they are directly proportional. If the length of the wire increase أنا زودت electric resistance, so طب مين اللي عكسهم؟ هيقل electric current intensity. كده احنا بنلعب لعبة عسكر وحرامي، مين الاتنين عكس بعض؟ الريزيستنس لما بتزيد الانتنسيتي على طول الكارنت انتنسيتي decreases. So if I increase the wire length, the electric current resistance increase and the electric current intensity decreases. طب here we reach a very important part about somebody who's very intelligent physician which is called Ohm. Mr. Ohm عمل لنا a very important relation، جمع لنا many properties that we discussed this episode and the other episodes together مع بعض في relation سماها Ohm's law. Let's go together and discuss Ohm's law. يلا بينا. Let's now explain the Ohm's law as Mr. Ohm. Mr. Ohm ده is a German scientist. هو عمل ايه قلنا؟ he's passionated with the electricity and shows the relation between how many points between electric current and potential difference، جمعهم مع بعض in a relation سماها Ohm's law because it's his discovery. طب at the beginning what's Mr. Ohm done؟ عمل ايه؟ He did what? He found عمل experiment. He make this circuit and the circuit قلنا طبعا لازم you have to know the components of the circuit. وصل كل حاجة احنا devices all of them together in the circuit and start to make a very nice experiment. ايه هي الاكسبيرمنت؟ he طبعا he close the switch and start every time to measure مرة the reading of the ammeter. طب if the reading of the ammeter يلا نفتكر مع بعض it's measure ايه؟ electric current intensity. Its unit is what? ampere. At the same time he took the reading of the voltmeter. طب he took the reading of the voltmeter which measured what? electric potential difference with which unit? with volt. يعني احنا بنسم اب كده عن طريق اللو ده كل اللي احنا خدناه devices and units and also relation. Then in each time he took his result كان هو good observer. He wrote his observation as a kind of calculation. First الاميتر قرا 0.1 and at the same time the voltmeter measure 1 volt. He make a ratio. What's ratio? Ratio يعني حط up ال V which is the potential difference and down حط ال electric current intensity. هو invent that عشان يشوف relation بينهم. And then get a result number 1 كانت 10 what? 10 ohm which is the unit of the resistance. Okay, and he repeated the reading and repeated and the second reading وعمل ratio. The third reading and he put a ratio. طبعا دي hypothesis. Any experiment, if we did an experiment, you have something which is called hypothesis and we start to يعني اعتقادي أو تخيلي and then بعمل experiment and then I get the result and then بطلع a conclusion. This is the observation of Mr. Ohm. طب أكيد كلنا لاحظنا one of the most important observation here that in each time he made a relation between the reading of the ammeter and the voltmeter, he put the potential difference up and the electric current intensity down, he found each time the same result. الله، طب he كده got a very good invention، طلع باختراع. ايه هو الاختراع دوت؟ قال I discovered a law, a rule. انا اللي سبق صحفي بتاعي. ايه هو؟ that each time the ratio between the potential difference and the word ratio يعني division between potential difference and electric current intensity in all time is constant. دايما بلاقيها طالعه لي constant value. زود دي هي constant value. طيب حطها كده في الريزلت بتاعته. طيب قال ايه؟ طيب معنى كده ان في ريليشن ما بين البوتنشال ديفرنس والالكتريك كارنت انتنسيتي؟ yes, they are directly proportional and this is the sign of directly proportional. في a very important thing في الماث, if I want to remove الساين بتاعة البروبورشنال I can put equal, بس هحط constant. لازم احط حاجة اسمها constant, وكل واحد بيختار الكونستنت بتاعه طبعا من الساينتست not us. So if I remove the sign of the relation I can put V equal constant time I. يبقى البوتنشال ديفرنس equal constant time electric current intensity. طيب هو قال انا وصلت الكونستنت ده I will هسميه ايه؟ الكونستنت ده هو هديله السيمبل R and I will told you that it is called resistance. يبقى here he find that each time بيعمل division طلع بكونستنت فاليو سماها resistant وحطها in the shape of equation. طيب طلعنا منه بايه؟ ان V equal R times I. طب R ده هو اللي اخترعها وسماها بعد كده هي resistance. So from that وصلنا ل very important mathematical law we use it in solving problem called Ohm's law, which is R, which is the resistance equal. من دي أنا ممكن أقدر أعمل كل حاجة من الريليشن اللي طلعها. So if I want R like the magic triangle hide it يبقى R equal V divided I electric potential difference divided electric current intensity. And this is الإعجاز اللي وصل بيه Ohm, which is called Ohm's law. طب له definition؟ yes. من هنا مش ممكن أنا أعمل له definition؟ ممكن. الريزيستنس is the ايه؟ the في الأول أنا ممكن هنا أعمل definition الأول للريزيستنس مختلف عن opposition of the electric current intensity. It's what? It is the ratio between what? Between potential difference أهي من هنا which is V and the electric current intensity and we will see it now. طب تعالوا نشوف ايه اللو بقى اللي لازم احفظ اللو. هو مش بيتحفظ على فكرة, هو very easy ومفهوم. من الريليشن دي I can got the law which is بيقول ايه؟ يجي يقول لي state the law. كلمة state the law يعني write the law of Ohm. هنا مش احنا في كل مرة بنلاقي ان الالكتريك كارنت intensity passing in the conductor is ايه؟ directly proportional to the potential difference. اللي هي الساين اللي كنا عاملينها دي it's directly proportional to the potential difference. But in one condition, if the temperature is constant, if the temperature is constant, okay? And this is the rule and this is the stating the law. يعني في كل مرة بعمل ريشيو بيطلع لي constant value سماها resistance. وقلنا resistance ممكن I define it again from the law is the ratio between potential difference and the electric current intensity passing in the wire. طيب يبقى عرفنا Ohm's law اهو, ونقدر من كل triangles دي نقدر نطلع اي واحدة منهم very easy. Put the triangle, put the data inside it and then you can get any one of them. طب في point بقى مهمة جدا جدا جدا. ايه من ده أنا عملت definition ل Ohm's law. Can I define Ohm? Yes, I can define Ohm. يلا بينا. It is Ohm ده إيه؟ resistance. يبقى it is the resistance. Okay, دي measuring unit of resistance. Okay. الأول نشوف اليونتس. أدي اليونتس. Volt, ampere, and Ohm for resistance and we know them. Okay. طب إيه هو الأوم؟ من الرول قدامي. يلا بينا الأوم. الأوم is it is the resistance that passing in the conductor أو allow passing electric potential difference قد إيه؟ 1 volt when electric current intensity is 1 ampere. يبقى here let's go and sum up what we took. In this lesson we completely finished all the properties of the electric current intensity and we ended it by the electric potential difference and the potential the potential, electric potential. And finally, we got the resistance definition and types of resistance, and how can we measure it either by devices, and how can we control it by using the variable resistance, which is called rheostat. Thank you so much for your good listening. I hope that you understand it. See you next, and goodbye.